So yesterday we talked about how to use a double number line to solve a two-step equation. And remember, a two-step equation just means that instead of just dividing or multiplying or adding or subtracting to find the unknown value, we have an extra step in there we have to do. So an equation like x plus 2 equals 10 would be one step. 2x plus 2 equals 10 would be a two-step equation. We most certainly can. We're actually going to use the number line today for negatives, but we can review how to do it for ones like we had yesterday. So let me go ahead and get this pulled up. And we will do that first. So let's say we have the equation 3x minus 2 equals 19, okay? So let me go ahead and get my number line in here, okay? So here's my number line. And the first thing we want to do is put our 0 and 0x on here. So here's my 0, here's my 0x, okay? And we know that 3x minus 2 equals 19. So on the top here, I'm going to put my 19. And on the bottom, since that's my x line, I'm going to add my 3x minus 2. So when I look at this problem, the first thing I want to do to solve this is to add 2, okay? Because to get to the answer, we subtracted 2. So I'm going to add 2 to figure out where I started. So if I add 2, that's going to give me 3x. And if I add 2 to 19, that's going to give me 21. So 3x equals 21 is the same thing as 3x minus 2 equals 19, okay? The next step that I'm going to take is I want to know not what 3x equals, I want to know what 1x is equal to. So I need to figure out how I went from 3x to just x. And to do that, I divided by 3. So I need to divide 21 into 3 equal groups, and each group would have 7. So for this problem, x would equal 7, and I can check that by taking the 7 and putting it in place of x in my equation. So 3 times 7 minus 2 equals 19. 3 times 7 is 21. Minus 2 equals 19. 21 minus 2, so 21, 20, 19 equals 19. Since both sides of the equal sign are the same, then 7 is the correct solution to this problem. Okay, why did we add 2 to the number line? So do you see in the original equation, Nathan, how we have a minus 2 here? Okay. So we add 2 because we are undoing what we did to find the answer. So since we subtracted 2 from 3x, to find what x equals, we have to do the opposite. We have to undo, okay? So to undo subtraction, we add. Does that make sense? Any other questions about this problem? Okay. So what we are going to do today, we are still going to be using number lines. We're still going to be doing two-step equations, but we are actually going to look at what happens if our x value or our coefficient on x is negative, okay? And how we would solve that. So the double number line shows one way to start to solve the equation. -2 times 3x plus 4 equals 10. And each step is labeled A through D, all the way up to this point, 3x equals -9. What we're going to do is figure out what operation was done at each step, okay? So we're going to go through this line by line. So the first thing that they did is they put the 10 and the -2 times 3x plus 4 on the number line, and that was step A. Step B, they went to -3x minus 4 equals 5. So what operation did they do? They add, subtract, multiply, divide, and by what? They could have done subtraction. What other operation could they have done? Look specifically at the 10 and the 5. That's going to give you a big clue. All right, so here's what I want you to notice. If I have 10 of something, and then I change it to 5 of something, did my number get bigger or smaller? Smaller. So if it got smaller, we didn't add to it, we didn't multiply it, we either subtracted from or divided it. So which, right, we divided. And what did they divide by to get 5? We divided 10 into how many parts? Right. So the first thing we did from step A to step B was to divide by 2. Okay. The other thing I want you to notice is that when they divided by 2 on this -2 times 3x plus 4, if I divide that by 2, I'm left with -3x plus 4, because we didn't divide by -2, just by 2. And what they did is took this negative and distribute it into the parentheses. That's how we got the -3x minus 4. So we also, I'm going to type this in here. the -1. Okay. That was an extra little step that they did there. So we divided by 2, and then we distributed the -1. Okay. From step B to C, we went from -3x minus 4 to -3x and 5 to 9. So what operation did we do if we went from 5 to 9? Let's look just at that one. Okay, we could have multiplied because we got bigger. What else could we have done? Right, we added. Because we had -3x minus 4. So since this right here is minus 4, to undo it, we have to add 4. So we add 4 at this step. All right. Step C to D. So from step C to D, we went from -3x to +3x and 9 to -9. What did we do? What operation did we do here? Or what do you think we did? How did we get from 5 to 9? You're looking at different steps, okay? That's why I made them different colors here. So look at what's in blue here and what I wrote in purple down at the bottom. We're starting at point C or step C here and going from C all the way to D on the other side of the number line. So we are going from -3x to +3x and +9 to -9. All right. All right. So let me ask this. 9 and -9. Which of those two numbers is greater? Which one's the bigger number? +9 or -9? Right. +9 is the bigger number. So we went from a big number to a smaller number. How did we do that? What two operations give us a smaller number? Okay, we could have subtracted 18. What else could we have done? What other operation gives us a smaller value? No, added makes it bigger. Multiply makes bigger. What's the opposite of multiplication? Right. So to go from 9 to -9, we could have subtracted 18, but then I would see 3x minus 18 up here. So that's a big clue that we did not subtract, and lets us know that we divided to find this answer. And since if I were to take away this negative, okay, what do we divide by that leaves the number the same? So 2 divided by what equals 2? 9 divided by what equals 9? What's that number? Okay. And we went from positive to negative. So did I divide by +1 or -1? Right. So from step C to D, all we did was divide by this -1, because -3x divided by -1 would give me a positive 3x, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay. Any questions about that so far? All right. Now it wants to know, between which two steps is there a reflection across 0 on the number line? So we were working over here and then all of a sudden jumped to the left side of 0. So where did that happen? Was it between A and B, B and C, or C and D? Where did we go from positive to negative? Right, from C to D. And if I want to know what operation is used to do this, well, I'm going to go right here. And we know to do that, we divided by -1. Okay, because my answer is already here for me. All right, last step. What is the solution to the equation? So what does x equal? If 3x equals -9, what is one of those x's going to be equal to? So think about how to decompose -9. All right, Nathan says -3. Do I have anyone who agrees with him? All right, let me do my bar model here just for that. So 3x negative 9 we know this is going to be split 3 ways. So x, x, x. Split this 3 ways. And Nathan says negative 3. So negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6. Plus negative 3 is negative 9. So x equals negative 3. And I can take this and put it back into my original equation for x and see if it works. So negative 2 times 3 times negative 3 plus 4 should equal 10. So we're going to see. Negative 2, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 plus 4 equal 10. Negative 2, well, if I have negative 9 and I'm adding 4, I'm going to closer to 0, so 8, 7, 6, 5. All right, 2 times 5 is 10. Negative times a negative is a positive. 10 equals 10. So x equals negative 3 is the correct solution. Any questions about how we solved this? So, good news. The problem we just went through is from your assignment today. So you have all the answers for one slide on the assignment. What you have to accomplish is just 3 extra problems on your own. They're all going to have a negative coefficient on the x. And just like we did, you are going to put or plot the answers or the equation on your double number line. And then you are going to think about what steps you are going to take to solve it. So negative x plus 10 equals 40. Well, I had this negative x and I added 10 to it to get 40. So to go backwards, I need to do the opposite of adding 10 and then the opposite of multiplying by negative 1 to find my answer. Show me on the number line, model it, and then describe the steps that you took to find the answer, okay? Just like we did together. 3 of them, you're done. And then I had a bit of a brain fart this morning and realized that I did not put anything in your warm-up and your exit ticket. So click submit, you get a free 100. Woohoo! One last thing to worry about this final week of term 4. Any questions about your assignment for today?